Okay, I got them. All right, so let me see here. The letter we have, actually, it's not a letter, it's a comment. Someone wants me to speak on that whole baby daddy McDonald video thing. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I got time on my hands, so I'll do it. I guess the young lady was upset because her the father of her child decided to just bring his kids something and not the rest of her children. Well, my take on that is it would have been the proper thing to do, but to expect him to do so and then to expose him live, I think was unnecessary. And as a woman who have had to miss meals so her kids can eat, you don't count on anyone to feed your kids but yourself. You don't count on the state. You don't count on your baby daddy. You don't count on anybody. Don't count on anybody to feed your kids but you. That's the only thing I have to say about that. Excuse me. And the fact that it makes people hesitant to date women with kids. All right. So, my next one is, oh, all right. It says, hey, Miss Sheila, it's kind of small. I got to see you see it. I can't see, so it's kind of small. Make it a little bit bigger. All right, so it says, hey, Miss Sheila, I, I'm married. I still need to make this bigger. All right, here you go. So it says, hey, Miss Sheila, I'm married. I'm married to a man. We've been married for 6 years. However, I'm finding myself becoming very interested in women. I haven't gone there yet, but there is a lady at my gym who we're becoming really friendly. I don't know what to do. Well, there's a difference in being bisexual and bicurious. Um, you've been married for 6 years. You didn't say if you had kids or not, but the problem with that is if this is just a curiosity thing, you're going to ruin your marriage for no reason. I'm going to tell you, like I tell everyone, you have to pray on it. You have to pray on it. Now, if this is something that's been within you and you've been feeling these feelings your whole life, that's a different subject. That's a different matter. That's a different circumstance than you just wake up saying, hey, one day I want to kiss a girl. It's very, 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 very serious. And it can be harmful to your marriage. And if you have kids, it can affect them too. Um, you can't play with those type of emotions because there are people who are actually born knowing, what's within them and they suppress it. And then when you have people who aren't sure or they're just bi curious, it kind of gives them a bad look. People already don't respect our LGBTQ community, so we don't need posers. I'm not saying that you are a poser, but I'm just saying they don't need posers. All right, let's see. If you write in, my email address is ask at mama-sheila.com. If you write in, please don't don't send videos that you're going to put someone on blast, or something that's silly or nasty, because it won't get aired. They'll get deleted. They'll get deleted. Oh, here's a good one. Am I too young to get married? All right. Dear Miss Sheila, I'm 21 years old. I've just started college and I've been dating my boyfriend for 4.5 years. Wow. He's been talking about marriage. I'm not really sure if we're ready to get married. I do know I want to finish school and want to be in my career before I consider marriage and kids. All right. So, here's my motto on marriage. My mom and my dad met, and 6 months later they were married. Okay. To this day, to this day, they are still married and they're happily married. You can't put a time limit on when you should get married or when you should not get married. If you feel like you rushing into it, you are. If you feel like you're not ready for it, you're not. A marriage is sacred. Marriage is something that it's binding by God, first of all. So a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people get married for all the wrong reasons, but you have to be equally yoked. You have to have it in your heart that this is the person that you want to be with, and you have to be sure. If you're not all three of those things, then I say what I always say, my go-to answer and what I live by: seek counseling, preferably from your preacher or someone. Or, after you have that discussion with that person, then you go ahead and seek counseling and then see where your heart is then. Because it may be like a small, minute reason why you don't want to get married, why you're not ready, or it could be that you just don't want to do it. As a woman, a lot of times, I think my sister mentioned this. We discussed this on our first show, where a lot of people get married and they lose themselves within that marriage. Um, if you feel like you're losing yourself in that relationship right now, it could be a reason why you don't want to get married. So, if this is a good person and if this is someone you've been with, you said 4.5 years, it's worth, figuring out that why. You have to figure out that why. Um, you have to figure out that why. I can't say that enough. But that's my take on that. Okay. Let's see what else do we have here. I'm gonna skip that one. Well, I'm kind of disappointed that none of my guests showed up today. I guess the men didn't feel like talking. Um, I guess they didn't feel like talking. It's okay. But let me address something else. Um, I have a hater. Now I understand that there are web shows or podcasts or what live stream shows that are a heck of a lot better than mine. I'm brand new at this. I'm just learning how to do this. This person watches my show every week, and if she don't watch it, she will go back and watch it, the YouTube on it or the Twitch. But instead of telling me, and this is for anybody who knows me, that if there's room for me to improve, I want to improve. Okay. And if you're my friend, tell me that. Don't send text messages to people, or don't, say it to the people who can't change it. Say it to me. Say it to me. That's all. If you feel my show is lame, you don't have to watch it. If you feel that it has potential and something needs to be tweaked, by all means, let me know. But to sit back and talk about me after you watch the show and tell me how you love it and so on and so forth, you too old for that, sis. You too old for that. But anyway, we're gonna get back to the love of things. Um, how about here's a good one. Here's a good one. Oh, okay. You know what? This is a good one because um me and my other sis was talking about this just today. Interracial relationships or interculture relationships. This young lady says, I'm 37. I've been single since I was 28 years old. Hmm. I finally started dating someone who was really nice to me. He is a black guy. He is a black guy, and I'm Hispanic. And my family doesn't like him, and his family doesn't like me. We get along just great, but the inter arguing, the inter arguing, okay, um, the inter arguing causes us to argue. How would you handle this? Well, if you found someone that you like and you've been single for a long, long time, and this person is good to you, and he's God fearing, and you guys are equally yoked or spiritually equal, or wherever your beliefs are, if you're equal there and you complement each other and you're not taking from, but you're adding to each other, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because if his family does not like you because you're Hispanic and your family does not like him because he's black, that's their problem. That's their problem. And your relationship could be a teaching element for them. It could allow them to learn, the concept of love. Keep doing what you're doing. Um, and another thing, if it's one of those things where your family says something about him and you run back and tell him, or his family say something about you and you run back and tell him, did I say that right? Anyway, you know what I mean. Um, don't do it. Just let it roll off. Don't give the drama any breath. Don't give it any breath. You know, this is your life. And if he makes you happy and he's not abusive and you're not abusive, and the only reason that your family and his family are upset is because of the color of your skin, let them be upset by themselves. Let them be upset. I love my family and my brothers and my dads. I have two dads. My brothers and my dads kind of I kind of go off of their vibe when I'm like newly dating someone. If they're not feeling that person, that relationship might not just last. However, but if they were ever to be, I don't like this person because they're this color, and I don't like that person because they're that person. I would put that color. I don't like that person because they're that color. They that what they felt will actually go on the back burner for a minute. I'm not doing the whole you can't date him because he's XYZ color. No, no, that's not good. Baby girl, if you happy, you happy. Okay. If he makes you happy, he makes you happy. It doesn't matter. All right. Let's get on to the next. Oh, now you guys know me. I like the sexy stuff. All right. This is a very short but to the point email. Hey, Miss Sheila, I'm about to leave my wife. She don't like to get it in. And when we do get it in, it's the same thing. I think I had one like this a couple of weeks ago. Listen, you can't leave your wife because she don't like to get it in. You can't do that. But what you can do, but what you can do is you can talk to her. They do have sex therapists. They do have relationship counselors. And you could go to www.howcouplesplay.com and find some interesting things for her. How about that? Okay. We see what else. Oh, here's someone who's having wedding planning issues. How about that? Wedding planning issues. All right. My fiance and I are supposed to get married. Hey, Miss Sheila says, my fiance and I are supposed to get married within the next 4 months. Everything that we set out to do, he is wanting to change. Our wedding tag keeps going up higher and higher and higher. And the deal was that we would stay within a certain budget. Hold on, I got to make this bigger. The deal was we'll stay within a certain budget and save more for our future. We went from three bridesmaids and three groomsmen to 10. Ooh, our guest lists have went to 100 to 250. Ooh, and our venue our venue has changed. Our original budget for our venue was, hold on, make this bigger. I should have done this with two screens, but I didn't know my guest wasn't going to show up. So, um, oh, their original budget was $8,000 and now it's up to 13. Listen, it's typically the woman who wants that dream wedding, um, and get in trouble for planning and going over budget. It's very rare that a man do that. I think that you guys need to stop, close the checkbooks, and sit down and have a conversation about it. Bring in your parents, and if your dad's paying for anything in the wedding, or if however it's going, you need to bring in either your parents or your pastor, because it's getting if this is getting out of hand. And I understand that you want, to go light on your wedding and to save for your future. That's very understandable and it's responsible. So I don't know if this is a norm for him. If it is, you guys need to talk it out, not argue it out. No name calling, no finger pointing, no you did this, you said that, but sit down and have a discussion about it. Um, that's that's basically all I could tell you on that one. Is that you guys need to talk about it and then bring someone in. Bring someone in older. Bring an elder in. That's a lot of problems that we have in today in these young relationships and in new relationships. Um, we don't rely on our elders. I'm 55 years old. I'm 55 years old, and I will still call my mom or either one of my dads or my older brothers for advice and guidance. Do I put them in my business? Not at all. But there's times where you need your elders. You guys are still in your 20s, you know? So you still have a lot to learn. And it's not a bad idea, and you're not weak if you don't but bringing them elders, that's what young people, if you don't do anything else that I say, bring in the elders. You need the experience, you need the guidance, you need the proper blessings. You need what they have, especially if you have parents or grandparents that's been married as long as you've been alive and longer. There's a reason for that. So you need to tap into that energy. If you don't have any elders that's been married, or or relationship bound, or can give you that advice, and that's when you tap into your church, you know but that's a conversation that you guys need to sit down and have together, and make sure you're not finger pointing. He could just be that excited that he's marrying his queen, and he wants the best for you. But if you can't afford it, I'm not saying that you said you can't afford it, but if you can't afford it, or you rather put your money in different places, I completely understand that. I completely understand that. Okay. I am going to do one more. I'll find a good one. And again, if you have something you want to ask, the email address is ask@mama-sheila.com. And I appreciate everyone who's wrote in. I appreciate it. Mm, I had an affair. No, you didn't. No, I'm just joking. All right. So, dear Miss Sheila, dear Miss Sheila, my husband and I have been together for over 40 years. And I recently had an affair. I wouldn't have got caught if I wouldn't have told. But the guilt laid on me so bad that I just couldn't live with it anymore. It seems that once our children got grown and went off to college, I was no longer a priority. It was all about his career. I don't know if he'll ever forgive me. He's not speaking to me right now. He's not giving me a divorce. He's not speaking to me right now. He's not giving me a divorce. We're not sleeping in the same room. And he's told everyone, I want to leave, but I'm afraid. We're human. We all make mistakes. Um, that's the thing with women. Women today cheat just like men cheat, but we cheat for a reason. You know, Women tend to cheat when they feel neglected. Men cheat because, well, men cheat because they feel neglected, but the majority of men cheat because they just feel like cheating. I'm gonna tell you, cheating is one of the hardest things to do. It takes multitasking to a whole nother level. Let me tell you, I've been cheated on, and I've cheated, and it's time consuming. And then most of the times, it's irreparable damage. You can't fix it. Women relationships are more more likely to survive when it is the man who's cheated. If the woman's cheated, it will not. It's less likely to survive. I'm not going to say it won't survive, but it's less likely to survive. We tend to be more forgiving, you know. And fellas, if you would have came on the show today, you probably could have rebutted if there was a rebuttal to have, but you didn't. So, with that being said, don't be afraid to leave because space might be all that you need. Don't pressure him to talk to you. Um, don't pressure him to talk to you. Don't pressure him to be in your presence. Give him your space. I highly doubt, unless he's like psycho or something, that he's keeping you in this marriage just to torture you. There's a reason why he won't give you a divorce. You made your bed. You walked out in the storm with no umbrella. You gotta roll with it. If you want your marriage, you gotta fight for it. But what I found out is that once you've cheated on a person and they decide not to leave you, you still have to give them that space. You can't just expect him to be like, okay, I forgive you. It's not going to be that easy, because right now it's a whole process. If he's truly not giving you a divorce, you're gonna have to earn his trust back. You're gonna have to earn his respect back. If you have children and they know, you're gonna have to earn their trust and respect. So it's a road ahead of you. Um, if it's too much to bear for you, though, I mean, I would maybe go stay with my mom, or get a relative until things die down, you know. But y'all already know what my go-to answer is. You go to counseling and go to your pastor or your spiritual advisor, or whatever you're doing. You are going to have to have help on this one, sis. And you know once the dust settles, you have to make sure that you let him know that you were feeling alienated and left out. You can't just say, "Oh my God, he's not paying me attention. I'm about to go over here with Ray Ray." Now that's not gonna work. Trust me, been there, done that, and it was bad. It was bad. All right. Good luck to you. I'll keep you in my prayers, sis. Okay. I'm gonna do one more. I know that said that was the last one, but I'm gonna do one more because I have a lot of them in here. I have a lot. Um. Oh, you know what? This is not the first time I've got this before. How do I vet my dates? Hi, Miss Sheila. I want to put in an application to be contested on your dating show. How do you vet your dates? Well, I do a light vet. I don't do an extensive vet. I may in the future, you know, but right now I do a light vet. I make sure there's no felonies, no warrants. I try to make sure there's no wives or whatever. But at the end of the day, no matter who sets you up, you need to make sure you do your own homework. Um, Once I get viable people on here, we haven't had any dates on the show yet because I haven't found any two people that I think that would be compatible, and I haven't found any one person who I think is serious. When I say no games dating, I mean no games dating. Don't Don't contact us if you just broken up with someone. Don't contact us if you're going through a divorce. Don't contact us if you are a serial cheater, because that's not going to change. Do people cheat and never cheat again? Absolutely. But in your description box, and you say, oh, it's just something I do, you're not going to do it to anyone that I introduce you to. You know. Oh, and speaking of that, I am getting ready to go to matchmaking class. So by the end of the summer, I will be certified matchmaker. Yep, I'm excited about that. Um, let's see, just to get that out the way. And there's no cost. I got a lot of people saying, how much will this cost? Just absolutely no cost. If you come on here and I set you up with a date, that actually will be, hi Annette, how are you? That actually will be free for you. And I have sponsors who's just waiting to feed you guys. I have sponsors in almost all 50 states. So we're just waiting, you know. But I kind of like this time I have to speak with you all today, since my guest didn't show up. I'm not going to say that again. We'll re-invite them. Something happened. It is the day before the 4th of July, so they probably have already had their grandpa cough syrup and feeling really good right now. But anyway, I'm going to read one more letter, and I am going to let you all enjoy your holiday weekend. Let me find a good one for you. Hold on. You know, I seen something in here earlier about, excuse me, I have a quit smoking cough. I am in the process again of quitting smoking. So when you quit smoking, you cough. Um, I'm gonna quit real soon though, because my cessation coach, she calls me. I mean, she texts me like 89 times a day. Hold on. Okay. So I'm gonna find the one about the sisters. Oh, here it is. Hey, Miss Sheila. Me and my twin sister have been close for very long time. Actually, we've been close as long as we've been living. Okay. I think I get that. I'm just joking. Um, I have to make this bigger. You guys apologize. I apologize. Every time I switch screens, it gets small again. Um, all right. So this young lady and her twin sister, basically, I'm gonna make a long story short, have been close. They are close. Most twins are close. You know, a lot of sisters are close. I know me and my sisters. My sister is close. I am close with my sister, my baby sister. You guys already know that. That's my rib. And I'm close with my two older sisters too. So this is kind of crazy to me because I could never see myself doing this. Her twin sister, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's little. And plus, I read it before. I've already read it. Her twin sister slept with her husband. Okay. And expected her not to be angry. She said, when I busted them, she had the nerves to ask me, what am I mad about? It's just a man. Girl, you want to know, you want me to give you advice on how to handle your sister? I don't argue with my siblings. And I don't think that if I caught my sister with my husband, I would argue with them then. But what I would do, they would get a forever timeout. Um, I don't know, just the vibe from your email is telling me that this is not the first time or it was building up to happen. You know, it's a code. It's a code when you have homegirls and girlfriends that you don't ever, ever, ever do that. Your sister, your sister, listen, I want you to make sure you show this video to your sister because this I'm talking directly to her. Listen, your sister is your best friend from birth. Your sister is that one person who's always going to be there for you. Your sister, anybody that your sister's been with, and even married, especially married too, that's off limits. You need to go and get yourself together, young lady. You don't sleep with your sister's husband. You don't sleep with your sister's husband. You don't sleep with your friend's husband, your cousin's husband, nobody's husband. Nobody's husband. That's not what queens do. And especially to their sister, your twin sister. Me and my baby sister have a bond like no other. I'm 55. She's 43. We had our first argument in October and I cried like a newborn. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't, your sister is someone who is always going to be there for you. Always. And you can't betray your sister in that manner. And good twin, good twin. What I need you to do is I need you to go in prayer without cease. If you need to go into prayer without cease because eventually you're going to have to forgive your sister. You're going to have to forgive your sister. And forgiving her doesn't mean that you forget, you know, because a real sister's love could never be broken, not even over something like that. In my case, but for the time being, she needs a timeout. I said I wasn't gonna cuss on the show, but we need to give her ass a timeout. She need to think about what she did. You know, that's horrible, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. And you can see, I'm so serious about the sister thing. I got my glasses on with the ring light in it, so you can't see that my eyes are all teared up. Um, a sister's love is, to me, that's next. That's right in line after a mother's love. You know. So yeah, that was my ice maker on my refrigerator. Kind of scared me too. All right. Well, that's it. And again, I apologize. My guest didn't show up for tonight, but I try to entertain you a little bit with the letters that I have. I have many, many, many more. And I think I'm just going to take a day of it, maybe tomorrow or sometime this week and just go through all of them. So if you have something you want to ask, remember, I will never, ever, ever say your name. Not if you want me to. This show is all about positivity and building. Um, if you know me, you know I operate off of emotion. That's why I just got kind of worked up there. But it is, again, you never do anything like that to your sister. That's a no-go. Um, and if you want to be a contestant in the dating game, you want to go to www dot, that's too many W's, but you got what I mean, mama-sheila.com, and then click on be a contestant. If you want to be a guest on the show and you have something that you want to talk about, go ahead and go to the website and put in your request to be a guest on the show, or if you don't want to be a guest or a contestant, but there's something you want us to discuss, um, just go ahead and go to the website, or you can, if you're on any of my social medias, you can always message me, or you can, if you know me, you could call or text me. But we'll revisit this from a man's perspective. But right now, a man's perspective isn't all that great because they ain't showing up for us. Next week is from a single woman's perspective. So if you want to join that show, hit me up a messenger, or you can go to the website, which again is www.mama-sheila.com, and go ahead and say you want to be a guest on the show. All right. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.